It's the Y107 Missouri Credit Union Miracles for Kids Radiothon.
The hero right now.
Y107, a very touching story there about Dominic as we are rolling through the 18th annual Missouri Credit Union Miracles for Kids Radiothon. We're in the middle of a triple play, which means your Miracle Maker donations, those will get tripled, obviously. $20 a month, and that could turn into $60 a month thanks to Extreme Body and Paint. Get those phone lines going. Veterans United is over there right now. We are currently joined by Matalin Page. Matalin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, yeah. Got to turn on your mic. That usually helps. Matt, we actually were just talking with Ethan a few minutes ago, and they were talking about how when he has a lot of treatment at the hospital, he can still keep up with his schoolwork, and that's what you do.
Yeah. So I work with our long-term inpatient kiddos who are there to keep up with their schoolwork so that they stay on track with their peers and they're not missing a ton of assignments when they get back to school, as well as our cancer children that are in our children's cancer unit. I work with them because they come in multiple times a week, multiple times a month for hours at a time for chemo and radiation, and we're there for medical reasons, so we don't think about school a lot, but those things are important and still need to be done. So I go down and I help them get those done while they're receiving their treatments.
Now, kids, sometimes they just don't want to go to school.
Right.
I mean, it's just part of being a kid, right? And especially when you're in a hospital and you don't feel good, like nobody wants to think about school on top of that. You collaborate with some of the other departments, right?
Yeah. So I have a really cool opportunity. I work in our child life office, so I have the opportunity to collaborate with our child life specialist as well as our music therapist, and that has been a great asset to my role at the hospital. I have come to find out, as you were just saying, students aren't necessarily motivated by school.
Right.
However, they can be motivated by music. So, really cool story. I just had a patient that did not want to read and write, and I said, I get it, but you've been here for almost a month. We got to do some reading and writing. And the way that I was able to get him to do that was collaborating with music therapy. We went in there together. We wrote a song. He had to write it all out, and then we were able to revise it, and that was looking at those grammar issues. And I said, perfect. We're getting both done, and this is amazing. And it was really cool to see what motivates them individually, because that is a huge aspect in what I do as well.
And another thing Ethan did mention was he was talking about some of the games that you do as well. Do you have a favorite, kind of game that you like to play that kind of teaches them, but also helps them to have fun while they're with you?
Yeah, so I really like playing Yahtzee with my patients because our lower elementary, we can do a lot of simple addition, and up towards high school, we do some multiplication to figure out how many points we have or how many more than me that they have, because they usually win. So that's just a really fun game that I like to do, and it helps build that relationship as well before I just come in with some schoolwork that I know they're not necessarily motivated to do. I'm like, hey, I know you can do some math now, so let's do it.
So is it sometimes when they see you come in, is it kind of like, oh man, it's time for schoolwork, or is it more like a yes, Matalin's here?
I definitely get a mixture of both. I definitely do. It's something that I do, though, are those ones that I know they're not going to be too excited to see me. That's whenever I really try to implement my own lessons, and it different from their school lessons that they bring in, because a lot of times that's paper pencil or write an essay. And so I like to take in my own lessons that gets those tasks done in a different way that's more fun for them, because it gives them that choice and it gives them that flexibility in the hospital, and they don't get that a lot from other aspects of their hospitalization.
Now, sometimes these kids are going to have more needs even when they leave the hospital and go back to their school, and parents may not know about that, and that kind of falls under your job too.
Yeah, so another aspect of my job is that I am able to not only educate and help the parents out throughout the schooling while their child is in the hospital, but I'm also able to communicate with the child's school. So I can call them and say, hey, I have this student of yours. They're going to be here for this long. Let's collaborate and see how we can make their education the most beneficial for them while they're here. And it really has become a great thing that we have been able to do, because a lot of times the parents are overwhelmed and they have so much going on, and communicating with the school is not something on their radar at the moment, especially with new diagnosis and hard treatments and all of that. So it's been really beneficial to be able to kind of help the parents out in that way too, and take something else off their plate.
I love talking to like the child life department and all these departments within the hospital, because it's not just about treating. It is about treating, but it's not just about treating. And it is the 18th annual Missouri Credit Union Miracles for Kids Radiothon. We are talking with Matalin, who is this part of the school teacher program here, and that your department, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's almost fully funded by things like Radiothon.
Yeah, so my salary is all from one donor right now. So we have donations that are coming in, and I'm actually the only school teacher at MU Children's Hospital. So we are trying to grow the program. I just started in August, so these donations have been incredibly beneficial, not only so that I have a job, but so that everyone else can enjoy and use the services that I have to offer within the Children's Hospital.
So that is a reason to become a Miracle Maker today. If you didn't already have a reason to become a Miracle Maker today, Matalin and the school teacher program and child life and all of that is an amazing reason to spend $20 a month. And it's actually a triple play. So your $20 a month is becoming $60 a month to pay for services like Matalin. And we've had so many people say, like, I didn't know I was going to need the hospital until I did.
Right.
And so you want to make sure that these programs are still here in case you ever did. So Matalin, thank you so much today. Become a Miracle Maker, $20 a month, a Super Miracle Maker for $31.25 a month, or you could be the extra special celebration Miracle Maker because it is the 40th year of partnership for $40 a month. It is the 18th annual Missouri Credit Union Miracles for Kids Radiothon on Y107.